Good morning all, hope you're doing well. It's Monday and hope you had a good weekend. Went really quickly. I'm quite tired today, but we'll get through today and then see how we do with our trades. Tomorrow is going to be quite bonkers, so we've got to be careful. You think about it on a technical view on the S&P, we've got a long-legged doji wick below, and it's like a dragonfly doji. So there's a lot of buying pressure for the S&P. We're currently undergoing a doji here, so lots of buying pressure, and we're quite uncertain there. And if I show you the S&P, is that we made a buy here, but we made a sell there. So what is a common factor for the indices today is that we're having like a mixed picture, in so much as that we had a sell, which you can see, and now we're getting a buy. So I'll draw that, and you can see what I mean. Here. This massive candle. So it's a bit tricky. So if we do go above, which we should because they sold here, we're going to encounter some resistance, and then we're going to encounter some resistance there because they sold it. Yeah, they sold it here. So is that making sense? Sold it. We should have come up. That should have broken. So that is interesting. It went long, so that fell. Yeah, so that was kind of strange because usually what happens is that they sell it. It should pump higher, but obviously they didn't want it to pump higher. There was obviously some resistance for the large specs and the big fish. So even though the retail guys sold it here, they did okay. And they went long, and it fell. Went sideways. They shorted it, so we come up. They went long, and it really fell. So this is a little payday scenario there. This is a buy and that's a sell. So if we come up there, that is going to be interesting. But I think perhaps what happened is that the retail guys got paid because the big fish saw that as a resistance, and they weren't keen on it and breaking above, and they wanted to get maybe a better entry. And maybe they want to be buying it down here in order for it to pump higher. So that's interesting. That's a naughty box, sell, buy. So a little bit mixed in the S&P. Likewise, US 30. They've sold it. Well, they went long. Sorry, they went long here. That box needs to hit that. Yeah, yes. Well, that should really hit that wick. And then they sold it here. So again, we've got a mixed picture. We've got two boxes next to each other. So here, right. So bit tricky. You could probably argue that those guys who went long, that probably would have wiped them out. It's a big move. That's a huge move. So whether or not how large these pockets are of the small fish, the retail guys, are they going to hold on to that drawdown? 3-4, 3-3. They probably could, couldn't they? It's a 500-point drawdown, but that would be horrible. I couldn't hold on to that drawdown personally, but maybe the retail guys are quite comfortable about holding on. If so, then this is going to hold. They sold it here, so it's going to be a support. This is a resistance if they didn't get blown out. They didn't. If their account didn't get blown up. So very tricky. So this invalidates at 34034. I see 34050 because it's really supposed to map that. I don't know how to delete these boxes. Yeah, I can do this. I can do this later, but you get the idea anyway. So that we had a buy here, we had a sell here. Whether or not we're going to overcome 34050 remains to be seen. And we've got a huge risk event tomorrow. The thing with DAX is that we're making a buy, so we can create a box down here. And they're really keen to short DAX. Whenever it falls, they're really keen. And so this is a buy, and you see how we're pumping. Resistance here because they went long. So we fell. We had a break-even test of their positions. Then we came, and of course now they're selling it, so we're pumping. So that's the logic there. Okay, so with about 90% accuracy, these crossovers. So do keep an eye on them. Try and get a copy of the trading station. Really powerful. and you will probably need to be spending like a day or two just to examine how it works and things. But you can see how, you put your stop there, you'd enter, and then you could even move your stop higher as we went, or put in a trailing stop, and that's how you can use it. Ideally, we have a better, stronger move to the downside, but that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that the retail guys short this. If they do, the sentiment's going to come down. It's going to be a stronger buy, and then we'll come up and pump. There. Gold. Okay, so we've got a new hour. What is that saying? Oh, it's just basically confirming what we're saying. We had a cross under, so that's a buy. We had a cross under the moving average, so that's therefore confirmed the buy for DAX. Likewise the euro. Let's have a quick look at euro. Okay, so they shorted it against its moving average. So this would be a buy. Your stop could be 106.60-ish. And then, then you're hoping that the moving average is going to come down and the SSI is going to come down. So you want the retail guys to be selling if you're long. So that's the euro. Be careful though, because so many fundamental reasons for a strong USD, especially going into the CPI, and just sideways for the gold. So I can't really make a comment on that. Even if you zoom out, you can see how sideways we are. Just be really, really careful. And obviously there's going to be a humongous move on this. 1%, maybe even 2% move, because tomorrow is going to be an absolutely huge risk event for precious metals and anything to do with the USD. So that's it. I'm going to wrap up now. Be careful, because what's going to happen today is possibly going to reverse for tomorrow. So, this is possibly going to be a good resistance if we come up. And DAX, they've sold it, so we probably are going to come up there. So it's possibly what we're going to do is pump and then dump scenario. And we've got a long way till tomorrow as well. And I just published a note in Discord from Goldman Sachs. So read that note that was sent to their clients. It's to do with the USD and how they're positioning ahead for the CPI. So I'm going to do a Patreon video now. I'll probably need to drink lots of coffees, and then I'll be okay. I'll speak to you guys soon.